Good morning, dear children. This is Amrita Banerjee. Children, today we will be starting with the second chapter of our moral science. And what is the name of the chapter? It is justice. Okay, justice. In Hindi, what do we say? Justice means nyay, isn't it? So, this is the name of the chapter. Now, we have few word of wisdom. So, let us see what are the words of wisdom. The golden rule of life is to test everything in the light of reason, and to awaken reason is to inculcate the ability of discrimination between good and evil. So, children, what does this mean? See, children, this means that we human we always have the ability to check to select between good and the evil, and so we should be using our reasoning power to select what is good and what is bad. So we have that sense, so we should act accordingly, and there should always be a ability to discriminate between the good and the evil. Okay, so this is the words of wisdom. So children, in this chapter, let us see what we will be in this chapter teaches us. Man is the most wonderful creation of God on the earth. He possesses certain qualities that no other creatures has. Besides, man has been blessed by God with unique mental faculties and abilities to differentiate between right and wrong. Man has been very ambitious since the beginning. So, children, it is saying that the man, that means we human beings, we are the most wonderful creation of God, and we have been gifted with many abilities which are not present with the other living creatures. Okay, and the very basic thing and very important among them is that we know what is right and what is wrong. Okay, so this is the most important feature that we have. That means we have got the brains, right? Now, man has been very ambitious since the beginning, and with his ambitious nature, he has achieved success in all phases of life. But only ambition cannot make him a great human being. Humanity demands different virtues and different morals and ethical values. So children, it is said that humans are very much ambitious. That means ambitious means they have some purpose in life, but only having ambitious do not make us successful. We should have the morals and ethical values. That means we should have some of the values inculcate in us that actually makes us great. Okay, now the ability of judgment is one of them. We have the ability to judge. If a person is not able to differentiate between right and wrong, then he is not a human being in true sense. That means if we don't know what is to be done, what is right and what is wrong, we don't know to differentiate, that means we are not actually the human beings. Okay, now Mahatma Gandhi, the father of nation and a great saint of modern world, has rightly said the golden rule of life is to test everything in the light of reason. That means children, we will have to use the reasoning power and check what is actually good and what is actually bad. And to awaken reason is to inculcate the ability of discrimination between good and bad. So children, the words of wisdom that we have learned over here, this is said by our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, now our culture believes in the principle of live and let others live. That means the Hindi which we say Geo and Jeene Do, right? So for the smooth functioning of the society, there are certain laws and that have to be observed by everyone. So children, we are living in a society and there are few rules which are supposed to be followed by everyone. Okay, and if we are not following those rules, if we are doing the wrong things, then it can create problems for others as well. Okay, so we are supposed to be in such a way that our none of the tasks should cause any kind of problem and harm to other people. Fine. So now children, there is a story and let us see what is the story. Madhav Rao, a wise ruler of medieval era, became the prince at the age of 16, but he had a great vision, immense intelligence and wisdom of judging what was right and what was wrong. So Madhav Rao was very young, he was only 16 years old and he was made the king. But though he was 16 years, but he know what was right, what was wrong, and he has got immense intelligence. Intelligence means the intellectual power to understand what is actually good and what is actually bad. So he has the quality to become the king. Fine. Now in those days the rich and eminent persons were known as chiefs, and they had their own permanent armies. King gave them a lot of money and other helps for training of their armies. So children, at that time the rich people have their permanent armies, and king was supposed to give them money for training their armies. Okay, now Madhav Rao came to know through one of his ministers that there were many chiefs who took money from the state but did not keep their armies as per the norms of the agreement. So now children, Madhav Rao came to know what? That there are few chiefs who are taking money in names of armies, but they are not keeping the norms of the agreement. That means they are not using the money for proper armies. Fine. So Madhav Rao thought of an idea. He sent a word to all the chiefs to be present with their armies on a fixed date and warned them that if anyone dares not to turn up, his entire property will be confiscated. I'm sorry children, it is confiscated. That means the property will be seized. Okay, this is what is the word. Okay, it is confiscated. Now children, this was said by Madhav Rao that all the chiefs are supposed to be present. If anyone would not be present, the property would be seized or confiscated. Fine. Now children, one of the chiefs was maternal uncle of Madhav Rao. Maternal uncle means he was uncle from mother's side. He was mother's brother. Fine. So he refused to follow the norm. Now he said that I am his uncle, so I will not be following the norm. He was not afraid of king, as he thought that Madhav is the son of my sister. Okay, he thought that chief thought that okay, he is my sister's son, and so I will not have any problem. He would not do any harm to me. So he did not turn up with his army on the due date. Now Madhav Rao immediately sent word to him to be present in the royal court with his army. Otherwise there would be serious consequences. But Madhav Rao, as he treated the other chiefs, he treated his maternal uncle also on the same level. He was his relative. That doesn't mean that he spared him. He just immediately sent him the warning that he has to be present or he will have to face the consequences. Okay. Now when Madhav Rao's maternal uncle got this message, he was afraid for the first time. Now he was very relaxed that okay, he is my relative, I will not have any problem. But when he got the message, he was afraid. He immediately went to his sister, the mother of Madhav Rao, and explained the entire problem to her. She called Madhav Rao and said, "Dear son, would you confiscate your maternal uncle's property? I think you can't do that. After all, he is your uncle and my brother. You should have some soft corner for him." So, what did the mother said? That he is your uncle, so you should not be seizing his property. You should be soft with him. Madhav Rao said very humbly, "Respected mother, all are equal in the eyes of the state." So now Madhav Rao said that though he is uncle, but he is same as the other chiefs. Okay, my teacher has taught me this lesson. So he has not followed certain norms. Now he should follow them now. So what did the king said? That now uncle has not followed few norms because he was my uncle and he thought that he will not have any problem, but I request that he should follow the rules now. So dear children, it is the demand of justice that everyone should work in the interest and welfare of the society and the nation. Now justice and discipline are the two sides of a coin, and so be disciplined and have faith in justice. So children, this is what is the lesson we have got, that suppose we are some relative of some influential people, but there are few people who are very much particular that though we are the relatives, but they will treat us like any unknown person if there is some case of justice, if there is something related to some rights or anything. How much rights the other people have, we will also have only that much. We will not get any advantage of being the relative or anything. It happens in many places. Okay, so this is the lesson that we have got from this chapter. Now we will have another story, children. So let us see the story. Jahangir, a Mughal emperor. So children, this is the story of Jahangir. He was famous for his justice. Okay, justice means nyay. So was Ashoka the Great. Now we have the story of Jahangir, who was a Mughal emperor, and also Ashoka. He was the Indian emperor. Fine. And there is an interesting story about him. So let us see. So the story is about Ashoka. Okay, now one day Ashoka went in disguise to see the condition of his subject. At night, he knocked at the door of a poor Brahmin who treated him very gently, and his name was Shishupal. So, kings at the previous time, children, they used to disguise act. They used to be like common people. They used to dress themselves like common people, and they used to go around and check their people, how they are living, what are their problems. Okay, so not like king, but like very normal human being, he went to some poor Brahmin whose name was Shishupal. Now Shishupal was poor but fearless, truthful, and a man of good character. Ashoka discussed with him some of the major problems of his subject. Now Shishupal explained to him all the evils like injustice, crimes, misconduct of government officers and ministers, and etc. without any fear. Now Shishupal was not knowing that he was king, so he openly discussed all the problems like injustice. So he discussed about the injustice, crimes, misconduct of government officers and ministers. Okay, so he discussed about all these problems. I'm sorry children, my cursor is not working very smoothly. Okay, so he discussed about all these problems. Now, Ashoka was very much impressed, but he did not disclose his identity and said to him, if you are made the law minister, what will be your plan of action? So Shishupal gave the answer very humbly. Sir, I don't know who you are, but if I am lucky enough to be the law minister of my state, I will definitely ensure the perfect order in the state in only 1 month's time. So what did Shishupal said? That I don't know who you are, but if I get a chance to become the law minister in 1 month, that means he said in 1 month I will try my best to make everything smooth in the state. Okay, I will bring everything, all the injustice to a halt. This is what Shishupal said. So children, we will continue the rest of the story in our next video. Okay, so kindly go through this video as in and prepare yourself. Thank you so much.